Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of Dark Souls PvP. I'm back with yet another weapon showcase, and this time we have the Server. Now this weapon, it really took me a while to get used to it, but now that I know how to use it decently well, at least I like to think I know how to use it decently well, I really do kind of like it. Now this weapon is really extremely overshadowed by the Murakumo and the Gravelord Greatsword. Now, with the Server, it has a very, very slight, almost completely negligible stamina, or not stamina, but health regeneration effect when you hit someone, similar to the Butcher's Knife and Smo's Hammer. I think this is only 5-ish health per hit. Really, it's not too great or noticeable, in my opinion. Now, this weapon has a B scaling with dexterity compared to the Murakumo's A scaling, and really the difference between the two, aside from their scalings, damage-wise, the Server hits for, at least for me, roughly 480-ish, and the Murakumo does around 530. And as long as I'm talking about the curved greatswords, the Gravelord Greatsword actually hits only 1 damage less than the Murakumo for me. So really, it's sort of meh. It's really up to preference with if you're going between the Murakumo and the Gravelord Greatsword. One thing about if you're going between the Server and the Gravelord Greatsword, I mean. One thing about the Server that I do like, though, is that it's 2 units lighter than the Murakumo. Now, that's really not much, but it's still helpful. And I really do like its running attacks. Its R2 attacks, they're but its running attacks are pretty good. Apparently, its one-handed running attack can't be parried. And I've heard that from a very reliable source, and I've tested it myself, and I couldn't do it. And I'd like to think I'm fairly decent at parrying people, but it just wasn't happening. I couldn't get it. So, might need to do some more testing, might have just had a little bit of bad luck with it, but I don't know. So this guy right here, I didn't really want to backstab him again, and I was hoping I could show off the stun locking ability of the Server, but didn't really work too well. I did stun him, but it didn't get him there long enough for the last hit. But he went for that R2 again, and I got him with the pokes. So, yeah. And I pointed down at him because, you know, he's right there on the spawn, ready, just waiting for someone to come in so he could kill him. And, you know, it's just, you don't do that. You don't do that. So, yeah. Really, the Server is a fun weapon to use. It's got the exact same moveset as the Murakumo, though, and I think that's one of the main flaws of the weapon. It has the exact same moveset as a weapon that weighs 2 units more and does a little bit more damage. And really, that's why a lot of people, in my opinion, don't use the Server. Because for just 2 units more weight, you can have longer reach, a stronger weapon. I think it's got the same stun locking ability. I'm not exactly positive. I am pretty sure it does, though. I'm pretty sure all of the curved greatswords do. I mean, all 3 of them. So, yeah. That's really, in my opinion, why the Server isn't very commonly seen. I mean, even the Gravelord Greatsword is more commonly seen than the Server because it has Toxin and its R2 attacks are thrusting attacks. So it's got something a bit unique about it, as opposed to just a mini Murakumo that's hooked the other way. I mean, that's really all the Server is. So in the end, I personally would rather just go with a Murakumo or the Gravelord Greatsword, but it's still a cool looking weapon. It does decent damage, and it does drag fights out longer than a fight with the Murakumo would. So, if you like fights that last longer, then the server is definitely for you if you're choosing between the two of them. Now, the pros for the weapon, its running attack, it can't be parried. Same goes for the Murakumo though, plus the running attack is stronger. Same with the Gravelord Greatsword. Same goes for that. Running attack can't be parried. At least from my experience with it. It's got a great stun locking ability. This thing hurts. It can stun lock incredibly well. And, you know, right there, I really wish I had that plunging attack. That would have just been great. But didn't end up working out. Anyway. So we've got the stun locking ability, which is pretty great. It's got a decent dead angling ability, actually. Because of its wide swings, it can dead angle pretty easily. Right there I was trying to backstep to dodge his washing pole, but didn't really work. I've actually been working on that quite a bit, but yeah, didn't end up working out. And, you know, that greatsword, I get stunned by that way too often. I don't know why, heavy weapons and me don't really get along too well. Anyway, so another good thing about the server is, in addition to its running attack, by extension we have the jump back followed by attack combo thing that it does. And actually, from this point on, the game audio, sorry about this guys, but for some reason the game audio, it sort of went a little funny on me. I'm not exactly sure why or what happened in the recording process, and this is the only video I have that it's ever done this. So, I don't know why, but oh well, sorry guys. But it's got some good footage, so I figured I'd include it anyways. And yeah. And that's why you don't heal near an edge. And this guy, that guy who was actually ganking earlier, and I was a little bit mad, and I was very happy that he went off the edge like that after healing. So I did the, well, what is it, because, you know, I could. So right there, that guy who was actually about to toggle out of it, he was able to toggle escape out, and he started backing up. And I actually was able to manage. I managed to chase him down with the R2 attack because it's got that running in R2 attack. Now this guy right here, I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. I think he got a little bit full of himself in his full steel armor. Like, yeah, you're gonna sit there and trade hits with me. I'll just hit you twice and stun you. But I ended up getting him because, you know, you just can't get too full of yourself. You should always expect that. And I don't know why I did that, trying to trade hits with the Darkmoon Blade Zweihander. That's one of the dumber things I've done in a long time in this game. Actually, that's not necessarily true. I had some pretty big fails recently, between walking off of edges, rolling off of edges, accidentally killing myself in ways I never thought possible. That's pretty good stuff. But you'll get to see that later, and yeah, that's something else I'm gonna put up. And right there, I actually was looking with the binoculars at that guy and saw he was in full giants with the Gold Tracer, so I put on some heavier armor just so I could trade hits with him and not get stunned by it as easily. So this is how you win against the Gold Tracer. If they're gonna R1 spam, you R1 spam back. It works. It works pretty good. Especially when you have a weapon like the Server, or the Murakumo, or any of the curved greatswords. Gravelord Greatsword being the other one. I think I've said that more than enough times. But, no, you really don't see these weapons very often, and really, the Murakumo is just everywhere. The Server really is a fun weapon, though. I really did enjoy using it, and I'm probably gonna use it on a semi-regular basis. It's not going to be in my top 10, or top 5 rather, but it's going to be up there. Now this guy, I am confused by this, and I need to do some damage testing against someone in full Havels, because 300 some odd damage for a backstab with a weapon that has almost 480 damage regularly, that does not seem right to me. Now, I'm not necessarily accusing this guy of hacking, but for some reason, I know he's wearing full Havels, but that much, or that little damage, it just doesn't seem right. I don't know. I feel like it should be doing more on a backstab, even if he is wearing full Havels, because that's just, I mean, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. So I'm like trying to figure out, why am I doing so little damage? Why am I doing so little damage? And I don't know why I traded hits with him right there. And what happened right there, for my second swing, I don't know why there was such a huge delay for it. I wasn't out of stamina, and I don't know, it just completely input delayed for some strange reason on me. I don't know. Got no clue. So right there, get a nice little partial parry, get a little dead angle action going, and that stun lock. Oof, that stun lock. It's so good. Now, one of the downfalls of the server is it's really easy to parry. It's a very telegraphed move set, and that doesn't help it at all. But that's okay, because once you start getting him in that stun lock, there's really no hope. And man, I didn't even see that guy. This is one of my less than skillful moments, although there's not really much I could have done against him. That was unfortunate, to say the least. So after that fight, I was like, okay, I'm done, I want to get offline. And then this guy invaded me, and he almost parries me a few times, but I mean, the moveset is very telegraphed, but you have to know when to parry if someone's R1 spamming you with it. You actually have to know when to do it. I mean, that could be said about most weapons, but it's especially true with the server. So yeah, this is the last fight. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful in some way or another. I'm doing the Silver Knight Straight Sword next, and then you guys can decide a weapon for me. So yeah, that's the end of that. Thank you for watching, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time.